What if I said one of the greatest freedoms in retirement isn't travelling more, or taking up new hobbies, or finally ticking off that bucket list? What if it's waking up, looking at the clock, and realising you generally don't have to decide what today looks like? Because when I initially retired, that used to make me uncomfortable. And I was always thinking, I should be doing something. I'd forever be planning out the week. So in reality, I hadn't escaped the routine, because I was simply building myself a new one. And whilst I still think having an overall plan for retirement is important, I've realised retirement isn't about filling every day. It's about finally owning it. And some of the very best days I've had in retirement started with absolutely no plan at all. And that's what I'd like to talk about today. One of the biggest adjustments I've found in retirement isn't financial. It isn't all about finding hobbies or purpose. It isn't even discovering who I am outside of work. It's learning what to do with having complete freedom. Because for most of our adult lives, our days weren't really ours. An alarm clock decided when we got up. Work decided where we spent the day. Meetings ruled our schedule. Deadlines decided our priorities. Even weekends became recovery time before doing it all again on Monday. We became incredibly good at living by a calendar. In fact, we hardly questioned it, because that's just how life worked. Then one day, it all stopped. If you're anything like me, that freedom felt wonderful, but also just a little unfamiliar. Something surprised me after I retired. Without even thinking about it, I started organising every day. Monday for this, Tuesday for that, and so on. Now, there was nothing wrong with any of those things scheduled on the various days. They were all enjoyable. And one morning it dawned on me, I hadn't really escaped the structure I'd lived with for decades. I'd simply created another version of it. Not because anybody expected me to, but that's what I'd been conditioned to do. After 40 odd years of living by a timetable, an empty day almost felt uncomfortable. Almost like I should be doing something, anything, rather than just nothing. I think many of us carry something into retirement we don't even realise is there. And that is, we still judge ourselves by productivity. I'm certainly guilty of that. For years, being busy meant we were useful. Having a full diary meant we were important. Getting things done meant we'd had a good day. Those habits don't always disappear the day we retire, because they quietly come with us. So when we wake up and there's nothing on today's calendar, instead of feeling free, we sometimes feel guilty. If that's you, then don't worry, because yep, I've certainly felt like that. But gradually and unconsciously, something changed. I stopped trying to organise every hour. Instead, I started leaving space. Some mornings I'd make a coffee and simply get into the day when it suited me. I'd read for a while or mess about on my laptop. Sometimes I'd go for a walk. Sometimes I'd head down to the shop or to the beach, whatever. Sometimes I'd decide to do absolutely none of those things, because I'd simply wait to see what felt right. And you know what surprised me? Those days often became my favourite days. Not because I achieved more, quite the opposite. Because they felt like they genuinely belonged to me. For the first time in decades, I wasn't responding to someone else's agenda. I was actually responding to my own. Now, I should probably make something clear. I'm not suggesting we drift through retirement without purpose. Sure, I still have goals. I still make plans. I still have projects that excite me. One of them's doing this, for example. Because I think having a sense of direction matters. But I've stopped believing every single day has to be planned before it's lived. And there's a big difference between having a purpose and scheduling every hour. Retirement has sure taught me that. Looking back, I misunderstood what freedom would feel like. I thought it meant being able to do anything. Now I think it's something much simpler. It's being able to wake up, look at the day ahead and realise I don't have to decide anything right now. I can let the morning unfold. I can follow my curiosity. Hey, I can even change my mind. I can do something or absolutely nothing. Not because I'm lazy, but because after decades of living by someone else's timetable, I've finally earned the right to live by my own. So these days, some of the happiest mornings I have begin with absolutely no plan at all. In the past, that would have probably made me anxious, but now I see it very differently. To me, an empty calendar isn't something that needs filling, it's an invitation. An invitation to take your time, to notice more, to listen to myself again, to let the day become whatever it's going to become. And maybe, and just maybe, that's one of retirement's greatest gifts. Not that we finally have time to do more, but that we finally have permission to simply see where the day takes us. And I'll tell you something for nothing, it's liberating when you arrive in this space. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to leave a comment and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.